TPCSI fans, you want to revolutionize your sports investing habits? Allow me to tell you about WagerWire. WagerWire is an app that helps you become a superior bettor by allowing you to sync all your sports books and track all your bets in one place. See your current action, your betting history, and stats. You could also sign up for sports books and collect bonus offers. Follow them at WagerWire on X, as it's the best account on the platform. Head to App Store or Play Store now and search WagerWire and download the app.
And just like that, we are back. It's the extra point, but it's just me. It's Mozzie this week. No live zone. He might be on later this week. Wish him well. Hope to see him soon. We still have football to talk about. The NFL went down this weekend, and it went down big time. It was a fun weekend. High scoring affairs, close games, little bit of everything. You gotta love it. The first thing we're looking at this week is the Rams against the Buffalo Bills. Pulling off a victory. Live Zone called it last week. The Rams beating the Buffalo Bills 44-42 in a wild game. If you got to catch any part of this game, you saw how crazy it was. Back and forth, up and down the field. Kyron Williams getting in there a couple times. Josh Allen accounting for 6 total TDs, 3 passing touchdowns, and 3 rushing touchdowns. Last time somebody did that was back early in the 60s. So shout out to Josh Allen for that. But this is all about the Rams. The Rams beating the Buffalo Bills, putting their playoff chances way up through the roof. Now looking in second place in the NFC West. Seattle Seahawks at 8-5, leading that division. The Rams are at 7-6. Right behind them, the Rams have a significantly easier schedule remaining than the Seattle Seahawks, though the Rams do have 3 division games remaining and 1 against the Jets. Outside of that, the Jets game, I think, is an easy dub, but they still got to get it done. The division games will be tough, but I think they can play with the best of them, as they showed in Buffalo this week. I mean, at home against Buffalo this week. So I'm liking that they have control of their own future. They're playing the Niners and the Cardinals, end the season against the Seattle Seahawks, which ultimately could be the game for the division. We've been saying it for a couple weeks now. We thought it'd come down to that game. You look at Seattle, they were able to beat the Cardinals in the 2 games in 3-week stretch. We love to see that Seattle could do that, because we knew that the Cardinals couldn't win in big games. Seattle remaining schedule a little tough. I see them realistically going 2-2 through these next 4 games. They're at home against Green Bay and Minnesota, 2 very tough games. If they can split them, that'd be the best thing for them. Then they're on the road for their final 2 games, visiting Chicago and visiting LA. Again, if they can split those games, it's the best thing for them. I don't see them going and running the table for the rest of the year, nor do I see them winning 2 of those sets of games, 2 out of 2 of those sets of games that I mentioned before. So I think it's a 2-2 record to finish the year. They finished with 10 wins. I don't necessarily think that's enough, because I do think the Rams will get 3 to 4, possibly more wins on the year, which would definitely put them in first place. And now everybody's saying, like, what about the Cardinals? Are they still in it? Yes, they're still in it, mathematically, but realistically, if you're looking at the Arizona Cardinals and what they do in these games that matter, it's not show up is what they do, plain and simple. They got 2 division games left. I see them losing both of those division games. I see them winning the other 2 games that they have, because they're against teams with a poor record on the year. I see them finishing with 8 wins on the year, going 8-9, which I don't think is enough. Even if they get 3 of the wins, I don't think 9 wins is enough to win this division. I think it's a 10-win division, if not 11 to break it. Come down to tiebreakers at 10. And then finally, you look at the Niners. there's just no hope. Great game the other week against Chicago, beating the team they should, but with what's going on down the run, I do see these Rams going on a run from second. They were at 3, at 4 at some points in the season, and now going to finish the season at 1 or 2 for sure. I do think they slide into the playoffs and win this division. So don't count out LA. Matt Stafford, they got something going on out there. We're moving forward. We got more to talk about in the NFL. The Colts also have a chance to make the playoffs. And I'm loving this. I've been saying this as well for a couple weeks. Watch out for the Colts if they could get the wins. I thought it was over when I was watching the Patriots game against the Colts. That last drive, they pulled out the win, brought them into the bye with a W, feeling good. Their record, their schedule left is looking as easy as it comes. With their record, they're going to have to run the table or only lose one game left and have some help. They have 4 games left, and the record combined of their opponents is 16-36. 3 of the 4 teams have more than 10 or more losses. So I think the Colts really have a very easy cakewalk into the playoffs if they want to take it. They have Jacksonville, Tennessee going down. The only real test they have is the Denver Broncos, and guess which team they're looking to chase down in the AFC? It is those Denver Broncos. Okay, 8-5 right now. Looking to make the playoffs with the rookie quarterback Bo Nix. It might come down to it. It might come down to this game coming up this next week. Broncos and the Colts, whoever wins this game might be the person getting into the playoffs. I mean, the Broncos schedule going down the stretch is not easy whatsoever, especially compared to the Colts schedule. The Broncos have the Chargers and the Bengals and the Chiefs. That's Patrick Mahomes, that's Joe Burrow, and that's Justin Herbert, all in the last 3 weeks. That's a tall test to get 2 wins. 3 wins might be absurd. 1 win is considered good, and 0 is plausible. So that's not too good. I do think you're going to need 10 wins to get that final spot into the playoffs. And I think the Colts can pull 4 wins off better than the Broncos to pull 2 out of their remaining schedule. I know that statistically doesn't pan out correctly, but that's how I'm feeling in the way it's going and the teams that we're seeing and what's going to happen. They're not even having starters play at the end of the season, possibly with some of these teams that we even knew their names at the beginning of the season, Jacksonville and Tennessee and whatnot. So I like Indianapolis's chance. And then we talk about the Miami Dolphins. Okay, they do have a slim chance to get in there mathematically, but I don't think it's going to pan out that way at all. A big win for Miami over New York to keep some hope alive. But do I think they're the ones that'll be sneaking into the playoffs? No, unless there's some unbearable and unimaginable collapse by any team that's up there right now, which I don't think we're really going to see at this point in the season. So watch out for Indianapolis. That's all I'm saying. And watch out for Denver to possibly start struggling in these last 4 weeks. Potentially going 1-3 is what I'm seeing, ending 9-8 on the year. I do see Indianapolis finishing 9-8 on the year, or possibly 10-7 and running the table. If they get the win against Denver this week, watch out for Indianapolis to run the table, go 4-0 through his last 4 games, and coast right into the playoffs, okay? We are more coming at you, more things to talk about, more football to discuss. Dallas is coming up, the Chiefs, Philly. We got things to talk about, but first, we do have a word from Atlanta Steak, so let's welcome back. All right, we're moving on. We're going forward, and we're hopping over to Dallas. And my God, what a game. What a game. A classic Dallas Cowboys game to lose in Dallas Cowboy fashion, finding a new way to lose in the NFL, and do something that we all look at as, wow, we can't believe that happens. That's the Dallas Cowboys. Okay, that is them. They blocked a punt with about 2 minutes left in the game. That should be a good thing for any team in the NFL. Block the punt, punt goes 25 yards, you don't touch it, let it fall, get the ball, kick a game-winning field goal, it's wraps, and you win the game. Instead, you have a guy, unfortunately, who is off the practice squad, hadn't been practicing with the team that much. He decides to field the ball and slips out of his hands, and the Cincinnati Bengals recover the ball. Not much you can do there except watch in disbelief as Micah Parsons did on the sidelines. It's just an embarrassment. And then next 3 plays down, Jamar Chase, outside route to the sideline, should be either tackling him there or pushing him out to the sideline. He should not be able to cut back inside, run around you, and run up the side in for a touchdown. It did cash my bet. So shout out to Jamar Chase. We love it. But it should have never happened. Dallas making that mistake in that time is frustrating enough. It's absolutely ridiculous. I don't think I truly couldn't imagine that they could lose this way. Jerry Jones making a statement after it about the player who had the muff, and he pretty much just said, we say nothing and we move on. And you can take that as you may. Micah Parsons being extremely frustrated on the sidelines and after the game and in interviews. And it leads worry in my mind that he may be wanting out of Dallas here very, very soon. Or possibly, I don't even know. He wants a change, maybe in coach. I don't know. We've had the discussion time and time again. Should McCarthy be in or out? We're for it, then we're against it, then we're for it, then we're against it. It's a never-ending battle. What is the solution? Cooper Rush as quarterback doesn't help out, throwing balls wildly off to the left, high, outside, inside when they should be outside, outside when they should be inside, not planting his feet correctly, throwing off balance when there's nobody rushing him and there's nobody there to make him rush the throw, but he's still throwing the ball. There's a lot to be unhappy about in Dallas. You play a great defensive game. You keep Joe Burrow to 20 points in the fourth quarter with 2 minutes left. You will end up losing by 7, 27-24 because of a play that your defense made and then special teams muffed, and then end up giving up a defensive bad touchdown. Realistically, they should have had a field goal chance for it, not scored that touchdown. Maybe it gave them hope in the sense that Cooper Rush could march down the field and maybe tie the game. But again, just a absurd way to lose in Dallas. I'm not sure where you go from here mentally as the Dallas Cowboys. If you're a Micah Parsons, you think you played well enough to win the game. You should win the game. These games have not been going well for Dallas at all. And on the flip side, Cincinnati Bengals finally got a win, like Joe Burrow said, finally got a bounce to go their way. Crazy way to lose the game, honestly. Insane. If we're talking about bounces, we're talking about the Kansas City Chiefs this year, okay? Let's look at it for what it is. This team has one loss on the year and realistically could be a 500 team if the ball bounced the other way. Another win, another one in dramatic fashion, time expiring field goal off the left upright through a doink, a massive doink in Kansas City. 17-16 at the time. That 3 points goes through and is good on the short field goal too. 19-17, the Chiefs win and defeat the LA Chargers. You know, the Chiefs win these close games. Let's look at the record. Let's look at the history though, going back a couple weeks here. That was this week. Last week, Raiders, week 13, fumble. Raiders on their last drive, driving down the field, going to potentially either tie the game or win the game. The week before that, week 12, Panthers, Chiefs hit a game-winning field goal, beating them 30-27 after they had the game in the bag. The Panthers came back, tied it up, went ahead, boom. You got week 10 before that, Broncos, Chiefs blocking the game-winning field goal from Denver. Would have won the game 17-16. Chiefs block it, end up winning the game 16-14. You go back 1 week before that, week 9, Buccaneers, game-winning touchdown in overtime to win the game. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 realistic losses right there that would put them at 6 losses on the year and put them at about a 500 team on the year, 7-6. But yet we're looking at a 12-1 team leading the AFC. It's Patrick Mahomes, it's Andy Reid, it's the chemistry, it's the offense and the defense working cohesively together to get these wins done for this Kansas City team, and I love it. Do I think this is a maintainable level for this Kansas City Chiefs team? No, realistically, because the bounces are never going to go your way the whole season. You have about 4 games left in this season that truly don't matter for you guys in the sense of it's going to put you, it's going to matter for playoff seeding. Don't get me wrong by that. What I mean by don't matter is you don't have to prove anything or there's nothing there to, you still got the division. There's a lot of things there. What I'm saying is Kansas City needs to have its bad losses in these last 4 games of the season because if they have the bad loss in the playoffs, it's wrap and it's game over and there's no three-peat. What you want is to get any of your bad losses out now. You don't want all the good bounces to happen now and all the bad bounces to happen in the playoffs. So Kansas City, I'm just a little worried. I hope some games go the other way here down the stretch just for the sake of the football gods and what they're bestowing upon you. And so that you can keep going in the playoffs like I think you will and be around to do a three-peat that we haven't seen in a very, 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 very long time. Never. We've never seen it. That's why. Ha, gotcha. All right. So Chiefs, I don't know. They're gonna keep going with it. Their remaining schedule 4 games. Realistically, I could see them losing one of the games, finishing 15-2 on the year, and then I do think they will take the number 1 seed as Buffalo lost, as we earlier mentioned in the show, to the Rams this year, this past week. So, hey, Chiefs, shout out to you guys again. Shout out Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Andy Reid's the dog. I love that new commercial that he's into. We have more to talk about on the show. It's coming up. The first things first, we're gonna kick it over to Viva, hear what they have to say.
No, sir, no, they won't stop here. Like a joint to a flame when it burns hot.
We are back with you. We're moving over to Philly, all right? We've had a lot of talk out in Philly, a lot of locker room talk. Apparently, there's some big drama going down in Philly. Okay, Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown, star quarterback and a star wide receiver, are not friends anymore, apparently, is the word on the street. And uh, it sucks, you know? They used to be great friends, all right? But it's translating to the football field. It's showing. It's showing out there, okay? AJ Brown's not getting the targets he nearly deserves, okay? He's not getting the yardage or the opportunity to get the yardage from Jalen Hurts. They are run heavy, but here's the other side of that. They're 11-2, okay? They have a MVP caliber running back. They have an MVP caliber quarterback. AJ Brown is a third option in the offense at this point. Between Jalen Brown's legs and between Jalen Brown's legs, elusiveness, tush pushes, and weapon to his right or left whenever he wants in Saquon Barkley, they don't even need to win by throwing. They're winning by running the ball. They're winning a close game. Yes, it's not pretty. Yes, it's not the best all the time, but they're winning just like a Kansas City Chiefs situation. But I do agree that they should start to incorporate the pass a little more with AJ Brown, okay? He's out there. You have enough weapons. You have enough of a talented passer in Jalen Hurts. If this drama is the reason why Jalen Hurts is not throwing to him, is because AJ Brown is being a diva and speaking up about this, what are we doing here? Okay, you're 11-2. You're vying for the top seed in the NFC. You're going on a deep playoff run. You're really gonna let that you're not catching the ball as much as you'd want get in the way of your team actually being successful. It sounds very selfish in my eyes for AJ Brown to be voicing this and making it a problem, but it also doesn't sit right with me that Jalen Hurts is allowing this to be a problem. Why it I, it seems elementary to me. You're not passing me the ball, so I'm not gonna do my job or what's gonna happen? You're gonna be unhappy playing on the team while winning? I don't get it. I don't get the drama that's going on at the end of the day. You guys are winning. You guys are on the same team. Just because you're not catching as much as you think you should, or you're not being utilized as much as you think you should, doesn't mean you're more important than the team's success at the end of the day. And that's just facts. That's facts all day long. Any way you cut it. I personally hope this doesn't continue to escalate at all and bundle into a bigger problem for Philly. Does this end up with AJ Brown requesting out? Does this end up with on-field play not looking good at all? We do know they just went against Carolina. Should have lost that game if Leggett makes that catch and it doesn't tap the ground under 2 minutes left in the game when that happened, but they end up pulling it out 22-16. But again, I don't know. I don't think this beef should be the reason why the Eagles come crumbling down. I don't think they will allow it to at the end of the day. I hope they come together, join up like they should, like the team needs them to, especially around this time. It's December football, it's crazy football, it's hard hitting, fun, exciting, cold, nitty gritty, whatever you want to call it. It's an amazing time to be an NFL fan, amazing time to watch football and be a part of football. So just get it together in Philly, boys. All right, let's go. Like, let's go outside. Let's man up. Let's whatever you got to do. Okay, let's just settle the beef, get on with it, and keep winning. You guys are in for a championship year, possibly. Put that above everything else and put the differences aside and the stats and the numbers aside. Who cares? Go to dinner. Take the other one to dinner. If you scored a touchdown and they didn't take them to dinner, boom, there you go. Problem solved. All right, get them a steak. That make me happy. Listen, it's been fun. It's another week. More NFL. Me and Live Zone will be back later this week, probably Thursday. Hopefully, if everything goes right. You know me, it's Maserati. You can catch me everywhere at Maserati. Listen, shout out East Coast Sports Investors. Check out everything. Breakfast Bankroll, Closing Bell, everything on the page. Atlanta Stakes, thank you. Viva, thank you. Bet Rhythm, check it out. Sports Revolt, we have some articles up on there. Check out Live Zone, at Live Zone, everywhere. Catch some NFL games this week. Thursday night, good one. Sunday night, great one. We're going to talk about them later this week. Thanks for stopping by. As always, stay tuned.